Ah, damn. So I just got back from the holiday and I bought a few stuff for the business and for review, which in this video I'll be showing you the Apple MacBook Pro M1 Chip. I did the unboxing at my family's house during the holidays though, but we will be going through over that and give you my first impression. But before all that, don't forget to smash the like button, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Lars here of Kilobit Nomad, bringing you tech tips, reviews, and personal finance. So before we are going to the unboxing video, I bought the Apple MacBook M1 Chip because my older MacBook, the 2017 MacBook Pro 13-inch with the Intel chip, it's starting to get a little sluggish. It's thermal throttling every time, like even just opening the Chrome, let alone, you know, opening lots of tabs, then the fan just blows up. It's like a freaking airport. It's like an airplane or something. Like it heats up easily. That's one of the reasons actually Intel is being ditched, unfortunately. That's one of the main decisions that I bought the M1 chip to upgrade my my current MacBook Pro, and hopefully get some things going, especially when I'm traveling. So let's get into the video and see if it's worth the money or not. Alright, so let's try to unbox the MacBook Pro M1 chip. I was opting for the 16 gigabytes, but unfortunately they're not readily available on any stores, on any Apple stores. You have to have it shipped, or you have to, I guess it's a custom order and stuff. So I have the 8 gigabytes of the M1 chip MacBook Pro 13-inch. It is on this paste gray. I'm trying to replace, we're going to be comparing this one later on with my 2017 MacBook Pro 13-inch, which is a dual-core Intel CPU. This one is the Apple M1 chip. So, okay, that's pretty tight. I like the boxing because it's really, it feels premium basically. It's heavy, it's tight. Now with the new one, here's the MacBook with their new, it's still plastic, but they don't have it like really sealed and stuff. It's pretty easy to open. So peeling it off, as you can see. You know what, actually, let's see what's inside first before that. So we're taking this out. This is how it looks. Here you go. It's USB-C type. And this back here. Now with the, actually there is, okay, so it's only the iPhone that doesn't come with a charger, but the MacBook Pro also comes with a charger. This looks like papery. Yeah, it is paper. It's not plastic anymore. So it still comes with the 60 watts rather. It's 60 watts. It's still the same as the my 2017 charger. It's this USB-C. And then with the USB-C cable, let's put this back here. And with the standard, well, you know, what comes with the manual, what it looks like, and all that stuff. Also with the Apple logo stickers. That's about it. Okay, the main stuff. We're gonna peel this off. Get out. So here's how it looks like. Okay, we are gonna be comparing. This is the M1 MacBook Pro 13-inch, and this is my 2017 dual-core Intel chip. Now we're both gonna open this one for the first time. I'm sorry if the camera is not that steady. We are not using a tripod at the moment. Okay, so here we go. As you can see, it still has the paper inside. Now, how do we take this out? Here we go. Peel this off. So, first impression, I can already see the difference between the keyboards. I don't know if you can see it from there, but this one feels or looks thicker than this one. This one is too thin, and it doesn't. It feels like you're tapping at the board or the metal. This one, I think, yeah, they are putting back the what do you call this, the keyboard, not as thin as before. I think the old keyboard or a combination of it. Another difference, as you can see, is this one has the LCD bar, where the 2017 doesn't have one. So we are going to install this for the first time, or set it up for the first time, because this is the first time I've opened this one. Alright, so while we're setting up the Mac OS for the first time, I just want to go over the specs of the M1 chip that I got. So this is the MacBook Pro 13-inch M1 chip with 8 gigabytes of RAM or memory. Initially I wanted to buy the 16 gigabytes of RAM because I had the 2017 with 8 gigabytes as well, and I thought it didn't have enough memory or RAM, but they're not readily available in stores, so you have to order them online and customize the specs of the MacBook Pro. But the problem with that is that the earliest time that can be delivered was around January 18, and I was trying to order around December or Christmas time. So that was a bit of an issue for me. I had to contemplate whether just buying the 8 gigabytes of RAM versus the 16 gigabytes. So I decided to go with the 8 gigabytes instead of the 16 gigabytes and ordered them online, but opted for pickup instead of delivery so I can get it the next day. So now the Mac OS has been set up on the M1 chip. We are going to be restarting both MacBooks and do a comparison test of the boot performance. Both have Big Sur with the latest update. The one on the right is the Apple M1 chip, and the one on the left is the 2017 MacBook Pro. So as you can see, the M1 chip just boots to the login screen very quickly, while the 2017 lagged behind. Now we're just going to log in. Both are taking a few seconds to load up, but the M1 chip actually loads up right away. Surprisingly, the 2017 also loads up quickly, with a few login apps that are running, because I do have those on that, while the M1 chip is freshly installed. Now we're going to try to run Safari at the same time, and the M1 chip just loads up Safari in a split second, but the 2017 is pretty close. Now let's go to apple.com and see how fast they load up. And wow, so the M1 chip just like loaded up like it was not on the internet or something. It didn't even give you time to think about something else. And the M1 just feels snappier just by scrolling through the website. I guess that 8-core integrated GPU on the M1 chip really is doing way better than the dual-core GPU on the 2017 MacBook Pro. Now let's try to see how fast both laptops can shut down Big Sur and then restart it. We're just going to uncheck opening, unlocking back in. And the M1 chip just shut down automatically, while the 2017 took about, what, 3 seconds or so? Let's see. Okay, so the Apple logo is up on the M1 chip. The 2017 followed about a second or two. And it's loading up right now. Okay, so the M1 is on the logging screen while the 2017 followed after. Let's log back in and do a speaker comparison on both the M1 chip and the 2017 MacBook Pro. Don't mind the 240p grainy video, we're here for the speaker test. So that was the unboxing video. Now the main question is it worth upgrading for $1,300? Coming from my 2017 MacBook Pro 13-inch with the dual-core Intel chip, yes, it's definitely worth it, especially for my use case. When I'll be traveling, I need to be online, I need to open Chrome tabs and do multitasking productivity work, maybe light video editing. So definitely the 2017 Intel CPU with a dual core, forget about it. It's not going to be able to handle video editing and all that. The M1 chip, which is the base model for the MacBook Pro, it goes through video editing like it's a $5,000 computer. It just slices like butter. You can just keep right away like it's some workstation or video editing PC. It also is very, very optimized for macOS Big Sur. The battery is well optimized. It can go over 10 hours, actually up to 20 hours of usage. I did try to use it and do some video editing and all that all day during the holidays, and I've been unplugging the power adapter, just mainly using the battery just to see if the 20-hour battery life is actually true, which for the most part it is. It does drain battery when you have to encode or when you are really doing heavy stuff on Final Cut Pro and doing other backgrounds, especially connecting the monitor. But the battery is really, really good compared to the old MacBook Pro and any other laptop for that matter, actually. So unless you want to play games on your laptop or you have very specific apps that is well optimized for Intel, I would certainly upgrade for the M1 chip, especially for productivity and content creation. Unless you have other specific apps, like I said, that isn't compatible right now. So just try to confirm if your main apps or your daily apps are compatible with the M1 ARM chips right now. There are two that I noticed. First is the Google Drive file stream. Unfortunately, it's not compatible right now, so you cannot even install that. Actually, you can install, but it won't run. So at the moment with the Google Drive, you're just gonna have to go through Chrome and download, or do kind of like the upload and download that way. Another one is the Adobe Premiere Pro. They don't have the M1 optimized update yet, so that one might be might feel a little sluggish compared to Intel, because it's gonna go through, or it's gonna run through Rosetta translation. So that might be a bit of an issue. It's not the end of the world, but if you're a Premiere Pro using, I would contemplate whether upgrading or not. But luckily I use Final Cut Pro, which is very, very optimized. I was gonna say well optimized, but yeah, it's very, very optimized for the M1 chip, so I'm pretty happy with it. Plus I only will be using Final Cut Pro when I'm traveling, if I really have to video edit when I'm not in my workstation behind me. Other than that, everything else, the M1 just smokes the Intel chip. I'm sorry, Intel, but that's about it. I've never heard of the fan on the M1 MacBook Pro spin at all, even when I was encoding. So that really says how the M1 chip is well optimized compared to the Intel. The Intel, just by starting up the computer, running Chrome, watching YouTube, it's the fan just starts like there's an airplane or whatever. Alright, that's it for this video, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button again, and if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. I'm Lars of Kilobit Nomad. See you in the next video.